Listen.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Beyond Sundays with Jonathan Howes. On today's podcast, I want to talk about the importance of unity in the church. Actually, this is part one of a three-part series. And part one, I want to talk about make every effort to keep unity in the church. Now, last Sunday was a huge Sunday at Graystone Church because we gave every single person across all of our campuses an opportunity to join our Graystone Church family. We had around 60 adults come to our newcomers class, and the majority of them committed to becoming a part of the Graystone family. I have their membership forms here. As you can see, just tons and tons and tons of people said, yes, I want to be a part of the Graystone family. I want to officially join the church. We are super excited about this. And we're doing everything that we possibly can to help these new people to our church get connected, because people are not looking for a friendly church. They are looking for friends. And so we're super excited to welcome these new members to our church, and I hope and pray that they feel loved and accepted. And we'll do everything that we can to reach out to them, to minister to them, and help them feel a part of the family. Also on Sunday, we had hundreds of people, hundreds and hundreds of people say, Graystone is my home. I'm committed to being a part of the family. We had all of these people. They're already serving, they're already in small group, and they're just saying, hey, I love Graystone and absolutely am excited about this being my church home. And then we had all of these people, yes, I'm committed to Graystone, but they also signed up to serve, and they signed up for small group, and so they're getting connected. We're going to do everything we can to follow up on people, make sure they're in a small group, and they're truly getting connected. Now, if you weren't here last Sunday, because I know a lot of people were out of town, it was a 3-day weekend, so a lot of people missed. Well, this next Sunday, we're having our potluck, which I'm super excited about, but on all the tables, we will have these sheets. And so if you weren't here and you didn't get a chance to say, hey, Graystone's my home, I'm committed to being a part of the family, or you didn't get a chance to sign up to serve or join a small group, you're going to have that opportunity this Sunday. Super excited about the potluck. We've never done this before, but there's just something about gathering around a table and breaking bread together. So I want to encourage you to be here. Don't miss. And I also want to encourage you to sit at a table with people you don't know. Don't just sit at the table with your best friends and people you hang out with all the time. Let's use this as an opportunity to get to know people. Now, last Sunday, I had to shorten the message a little bit because we had the newcomers lunch at the end of every service. And so I want us to revisit Ephesians chapter 4. And the title, I have the NIV Bible, and the title of the passage in my Bible, the subtitle is Unity and Maturity in the Body of Christ. And so the theme of this passage is unity in the church and spiritual maturity in the church. I want to focus on unity and the importance of being unified. And I want to read the first few verses, and then we'll talk about it. The Apostle Paul says, as a prisoner for the Lord, then I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. We talked about that last Sunday. We focused on that part of living a life worthy of our calling. He says, be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity. That's the title of this podcast. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. The Apostle Paul says to make every effort to keep unity in the church. Now, why is he writing this? Obviously, he's writing to the church in Ephesus. He may have heard that they've had divisions in the church, and every church goes through divisions, and he is writing to them the importance of keeping the unity in the church. And why is he writing this? Because it's so hard for the church to be unified. I mean, think about your own family. Just even in our families, it's hard for us to stay unified, to stay on the same page. But think about the church. All of these people coming from all different walks of life, it's hard for us to stay unified. And Satan, our enemy, wants nothing more than to destroy the church. Satan comes to steal and kill and destroy. And he wants to destroy the church. And one of the ways that Satan will destroy a church is to create divisions. The opposite of unity is to be divided. And Satan loves to use people and circumstances and sin and a host of other things to try and divide the church. And so the Apostle Paul says to make every effort to keep the unity, to keep our relationship strong, to keep our friendship strong, to keep the family strong. And he tells us how to do it. He says, be completely humble. Don't be prideful. Don't think too highly of yourself. Don't think of yourself as better than other people. He says to be gentle. Don't be harsh with people, but be gentle. Be a gentleman or be a gentle woman. He says to be patient. It's hard to be patient. It's especially hard to be patient with difficult people. But he says to bear with one another in love, to put up with each other, to love each other no matter what. Even if it's not reciprocated, even, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, even if someone is disloyal or betrays you or talks bad about you or whatever the case may be, we're to bear with each other. We're to love each other no matter what. It says in Colossians 3:13, bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. I mean, think about it. If we truly forgave others as God has forgiven us, we would surely have unity in the church. So I want you to think about, is there someone in the church that you have a grievance with, you have a problem with, you have a conflict with? I want to encourage you to go to that person, to talk with that person, to be quick to forgive, to be gentle, to be humble, to be patient, to put them first, to put their needs above your own. The Apostle Paul says to make every effort to keep unity. Do whatever it takes to keep from divisions happening in the church. He says we're to be one. We're to be one body and one spirit and one hope and one baptism and one Lord and one faith and one family. Jesus wants us to be united. He wants us to be one. And I want to encourage us to make every effort to be unified. Let's make every effort to be a unified family of faith. And then the Apostle Paul goes on in the passage and he teaches that when we serve together, it draws us closer together. And I'm going to save that passage, save that teaching for the next podcast as we look at part 2 of unity in the church. So thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you next time on Beyond Sundays with Jonathan Howes. Have a great day.